What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. So Poco's back with another brand new phone. The one that we have here today, it's called the Poco F4 GT. This is also the most powerful phone that Poco has made up until now. So in today's video we are doing a bit of a review and also a comparison with another super powerful phone that we got in 2022, the Samsung Galaxy S22. Alright, so we're gonna start with a super quick unboxing just so you can see what comes in the box with the Poco F4 GT. So first of all, we get a case, something that you're not gonna find in the box of the S22. And aside from that, we also get an 120 watt fast charger. So the Poco F4 GT supports 120 watt fast charging, where the Samsung Galaxy S22 supports 25 watt fast charging. So massive difference in between the two, not to mention that you're gonna have to buy the charger separately for the Samsung Galaxy S22. Alright, so charging the Poco F4 GT from 0 to 100 is done in about 24 minutes. And if you'd be to compare that to the Samsung Galaxy S22, well, it will take the S22 about an hour to fully charge from 0 to 100. Moving on to battery life. Well, inside the Poco F4 GT we have a 4700 mAh battery, where inside the Samsung Galaxy S22 we have a 3700 mAh battery. Here I was able to get about 10 hours of screen on time on the Poco F4 GT and about 8 hours of screen on time on the Samsung Galaxy S22. Now, keep in mind that I used both devices connected to Wi-Fi and I just watched videos for the duration of the battery. So this is not exactly real life usage. For real life usage, you'd get about half of that. So I'm gonna say about 5.5 hours of screen on time on the Poco F4 GT for real life usage and about 5 hours, maybe 4.5 hours of screen on time on the Samsung Galaxy S22. But for this particular test, yes, you can get up to 10 hours of screen on time if you're just watching videos on the Poco F4 GT. Taking a quick look at both devices, well, they look fairly different. The Poco F4 GT has more of a gaming phone vibe, where the Samsung Galaxy S22 looks more like a regular phone. So I guess it comes down to what you prefer and how you prefer your phone to look. If you want something more flashy, maybe the Poco F4 GT will do better for your needs. They both have glass on the back and metallic frames, but I have to say the frame on the Poco F4 GT does look more exciting. We have a lot more buttons on the frame of the Poco F4 GT. So with this one you do get two customizable buttons that you can actually use whenever you're gaming, something that you're not gonna be able to get on the Samsung Galaxy S22. With the Poco F4 GT we also have a fingerprint scanner that's in the power button. Now with the Galaxy S22 we get a fingerprint scanner that's in screen. Now, personally, I do like physical buttons more than in-screen fingerprint scanners, so I feel that it works better to unlock the phone on the Poco F4 GT when compared to the Samsung Galaxy S22. But again, everyone has different preferences for these fingerprint scanners. They both have dual speakers, even though you cannot see the speaker on the S22. The speaker is actually right here. On the F4 you can actually see the speaker at the top there, so we have one at the top and one at the bottom. As for the speakers, the F4 GT does have the better speakers, they do get louder, and I guess this is a quick example just so you can hear how those speakers sound like. Moving on to the front of both devices, well, first of all, on the Poco F4 GT we have a 6.67 Amoled screen that has a refresh rate of 120 Hz. Let me open display here. So we'll go to refresh rate, and on the front of the Samsung Galaxy S21 we have a 6.1 inches screen. This is an AMOLED screen with a 1080p resolution, and we also have a refresh rate of 120 Hz. Now, the main difference that you're gonna find in between these two devices is for the brightness. So the maximum brightness on the Samsung Galaxy S22, so the peak brightness is 1300 nits, where the maximum brightness on the Poco F4 GT is 800 nits. So you'll notice that mostly if you take both devices in direct sunlight. So you're gonna be able to see the Samsung Galaxy S22 a bit better in direct sunlight. Other than that, the screen on the Poco F4 GT doesn't look bad at all. The viewing angles are really good on it, the colors are nice and vibrant, but overall, yes, the Samsung Galaxy S22 does have the better quality screen, I'm gonna say. Performance-wise, well, things get quite interesting here. So the Poco F4 GT, as I said, it's the most powerful Poco phone that we got up until now. So this phone is using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 that's paired to 12 gigs of RAM. Now, the Samsung Galaxy S22, depending where you buy it, could come with the exact same CPU, and this particular version has 8 gigs of RAM. Now, because this is the European version, I also have the Exynos 2200 in it. So if we open the Antutu benchmark here, so on the Poco F4 GT we get a score of about 925,000, where on the Samsung Galaxy S22 we get a score of about 884,000. So if we exit this, I also have a screenshot of the Geekbench 5 scores. So the Poco F4 GT gets a multi-core score of 3600 and a single core score of 1229. Where the Samsung Galaxy S22 gets a multi-core score of 3500 and 1150 for the single core score. So performance-wise, yes, the Poco F4 GT is the more powerful device out of the two. The Poco F4 GT also gets faster reading and writing speeds for the internal memory. Let's open the Antutu benchmark once again. And if we go to back here, we can actually do the storage test on the video. So let's test this again. These are the scores that I got earlier today. So as you can see, we get higher reading speeds and writing speeds on the Poco F4 GT. But we'll do this test once again because it doesn't take that long. This particular version of the Poco F4 GT that I have here has 256 gigs of internal storage, where this one has 128 gigs of internal storage. So as you can see, the Poco F4 GT does better once again for the internal memory speed. Now, performance-wise, even though the Poco F4 GT gets higher benchmark scores, you're not actually gonna notice that big of a difference for performance. So they both work quite fast. But I did notice that the Samsung Galaxy S22 is laggier than the Poco F4 GT. This definitely has to do with the software on the S22. This year the S22 hasn't been great for lagginess and smoothness. So just to give you an example, we'll open a couple of apps here. This is Chrome. So I think the F4 just opened that like slightly faster, but overall you're gonna get a similar performance from both devices. Now, I've also played games on these two devices, and I have to say that the Poco F4 GT gets hotter than the Samsung Galaxy S22. So you're gonna be able to play games for about 40 to 45 minutes on this one, and after that it gets too hot to play any games or open any applications. So it has to cool down, where the Samsung Galaxy S22 goes over an hour playing games before it gets too hot to do anything. So for heating, the Poco F4 GT runs hotter than the Samsung Galaxy S22. Something to keep in mind, mostly if you play a lot of games. As for the cameras on the back and on the front, well, I've done a full camera comparison video in between these two devices. I've included portrait mode pictures, zoom pictures, pictures taken with the ultra-wide camera, sample videos, and a bunch of other pictures. So I will leave a link to that in the video's description or the top right corner if you wanna check out and see what both devices can do when you compare the cameras on them. So there you have it. This was a super quick look at Poco's latest device, the F4 GT, and a small comparison with the Samsung Galaxy S22. Of course, out of the two, the Poco F4 GT does offer way more value than the Samsung Galaxy S22. It is cheaper, it has a better CPU, it has better speakers, it has better charging. So a lot of value that you get to the Poco F4 GT. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.